Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jaime Delgado. I'm responsible for the global cloud ISV ecosystem at Oracle, and it's my pleasure to be on the call with you today. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us on this webcast. Today, we'll be covering how the partnership between RingCentral and Oracle can help increase sales team productivity with integrated communications. Now, Oracle really counts on partnerships to provide the best solutions for our customers. Our partner ecosystem includes over 25,000 partners, and partners like RingCentral are strategic to completing an end-to-end solution, so we're really excited to be collaborating with RingCentral today. For today's webcast, we'll be highlighting the RingCentral integration with Oracle Sales Cloud. Now, Sales Cloud is Oracle's flagship customer relationship management solution, and it's engineered for the modern sales organization. So there are many key takeaways with Sales Cloud. The two that are highlight are analytics and industry solutions. Now, analytics is one of the main reasons customers select Oracle Sales Cloud. It includes a BI design tool, mobile analytics, white space analysis, and predictive analytics, which allows you to spend time with your customers that will produce the best ROI. Around industry solutions, we offer pre-configured industry solutions for financial services, consumer goods, communications, high-tech manufacturing. We've also invested heavily to make Sales Cloud easy to use and easy to adopt. With Sales Cloud, you can improve sales rep adoption with no training. You can increase sales rep productivity with Sales Cloud simple to use UI. And you can track KPIs at a glance with executive dashboards. In summary, Oracle Sales Cloud is part of the Oracle Customer Experience Suite, which is tightly integrated and advanced. Now, let me pivot over to our next speaker. It's my pleasure to introduce Marco Castellana from RingCentral. Marco, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jaime. This is Marco Castellana. I am VP Integration and Contact Center at RingCentral. And so we're going to talk a little bit today about what RingCentral is and what integrations like the one to Oracle Sales Cloud mean to us and to our customers. Now, it goes without saying that the enterprise workforce is changing. We are becoming more and more mobile. And that is a very important component of why RingCentral has been successful in recent years. The fact is, and actually I myself am sort of an extreme example of that. Before I worked for RingCentral, I started at RingCentral about 1.5 years ago. And before I worked at RingCentral, I was a RingCentral employee, a RingCentral customer, I should say. So I actually used the product for 3 years. And I used the product for a very good reason. I was working at a company where we had all of our development in Paris, France. And our headquarters was in San Francisco, California, and our customers were all over the world. They were in Pakistan, they were in Malaysia, they were in China, and they were in London. They were everywhere. And so our company was not large. There were like 60 of us, and we were everywhere all the time. We were always spread to the 5 winds. So the reason that we selected RingCentral, well, of course, we all had our mobile devices wherever we went. And with RingCentral, our phone number always worked. So I could always call the CEO, or I could always call our head of sales or whoever, wherever they were in the world, using their RingCentral device. I knew I would reach them, and sometimes wake them up in the middle of the night. But that's what RingCentral is for. It allows you to bring your business phone and your business communications, because it's not just phone anymore, as we'll see in a little bit, but it allows you to bring your business communications with you wherever you go. Now, meanwhile, as these other applications have been increasingly going to cloud, that's become a driver for our customers to use RingCentral integrated with them. And in just a moment, we'll take a look at the applications that we integrate with, including, of course, Oracle Sales Cloud, which we're going to be talking about today. Now, if you consider what RingCentral comprises across the board, there's a lot of pieces to it. So as I said, it's not just about phones. Now, of course, it is about phones, so you can have lots of different kinds of phones. And at the top here, you can see that there are various ways in which we provide voice. People have desk phones. I mean, I have all of these things, actually. So I have a desk phone, I have a conference room phone, I have an iPad. I am using my RingCentral mobile phone at this very moment, and a soft phone on my computer. So there's lots of different ways in which you can get this voice stream. You can use it in any way that suits you, or you can even forward this to another phone altogether. You know, if you're at your grandma's cabin in the woods, you can even forward your RingCentral communications right over there. over some old school AT&T landline. So it works in all kinds of ways. So we have these mobile applications, which is indeed what I'm using right this moment. RingCentral also includes web meetings. So every RingCentral subscriber gets web meetings, sort of similar to the one that you're on right now. So it allows you to do web meeting stuff, you know, screen share, video meetings, all those kinds of things. That's just included with the package. So when you buy a RingCentral subscription, you get that. We also have collaboration with Glip, and this is sort of a permanent collaboration medium. So it allows you to do instant messaging, but it's actually a lot more than that also, because you can share things like documents, and it's also searchable. So you can actually type in a search and say, you know, I was discussing Acme, a customer. I can type in the word Acme, and I can see all the conversations that I've had about Acme with individuals and with teams. So it's a pretty complete collaboration suite that we have that's called Glip. Now, we also have a contact center offering. So RingCentral provides the phones, of course, as I said, but contact center is another layer on top of that that allows you to do more complex routing. And you can do clever IVRs, interactive voice response, like, please enter your account number. And then it can say your balance is $40,000. And then it can route you to an agent, depending on whether you're gold or standard or those sorts of things. So contact center is a whole world unto itself. That's another product that we provide. And then messaging. And when I say messaging, let me differentiate that a little bit from collaboration, because here, by messaging, I mean SMS. Every RingCentral subscriber also gets business SMS. So my RingCentral number, which starts with a 650, you can call me at that number, and that number will ring me wherever I am in the world. But you can also send me an SMS, and I can send you one back, and that'll totally work. So I don't have to give you my cell phone number, my personal number. I can give you my RingCentral number. You can call me, you can text me, you can fax me at that number, and it will work. And that's the idea behind RingCentral. It's basically a complete communications suite. Now, meanwhile, our customers have been telling us that it's very important to integrate to these other cloud providers that increasingly folks are moving to, including Oracle. We had a lot of customer demand for integrating to Oracle, which is why we're doing this call today. There's different kinds of integrations that we do here. So one of the most common integrations is a CRM-style integration. I'm going to show you what that means in just a moment. But another very common type of integration where we have lots of customers using it are on Office 365 and Google. Specifically, in this case, I'm referring to our Gmail integration. And what this does is it allows you to have your phone, your real-time communications, right alongside your email. So from my email, I can sit here and I can type an email, and in the next second, I can type you an SMS right from my computer. Or I can call you right from my computer, or I can make my cell phone call you. Or I can start a web meeting from there. So there's lots of different types of real-time communications that people want to be able to initiate from their productivity apps like Office 365 or like Gmail. And we enable that with our integrations, which again are included with any RingCentral plan. Now, recently, we were, I don't know if I would say awarded, but Gartner deemed us the most visionary on the UCaaS, that is the Unified Communications as a Service Magic Quadrant. And I think that's in recognition of a number of facts. And you see lots of providers that are on this list, both sort of traditional providers like AT&T and newer, in as much as RingCentral is newer providers like us. But I think what they were recognizing is that we have a very wide breadth of functionality. As I mentioned earlier, everything from your desk phone to your SMS to your web meetings to your collaboration is covered by RingCentral, and increasingly globally. I mean, we now have support, I think, in 71 different countries as of today. So I'm losing count of the number of countries because we keep adding them. But regardless, we have support in numerous different countries as well. And that allows us to have not just breadth in terms of functionality, but breadth in terms of global reach. And of course, when I say support in all these different countries, even if we don't have quote-unquote support in a given country, when I say support, I'm saying you can have phone numbers in all these different countries. You can have phone numbers in Luxembourg and Belgium and France and the UK and the US. But even if I take my phone to someplace that is not a country where I can have a phone number, nonetheless, you know, if I'm in Zambia and I have an internet connection, even if I don't have a Zambian phone number, my RingCentral phone will work. So this is a voice over IP, over internet solution. So wherever I have internet, this will work. I can be in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. If I have an internet connection, it'll work. Although that's probably not a good place to talk on your phone. And also, I think one of the other things that that Gartner has recognized is that RingCentral is really one of the first and only cloud voice providers and cloud unified communication providers to have the kind of enterprise customer base that we have. And this is a place where RingCentral is growing very, very rapidly. So in terms of the size of companies that are going for RingCentral, it's growing faster and faster. And at the same time, we're seeing a lot of growth in franchise businesses. And that sort of makes sense if you consider the RingCentral model. RingCentral is very easy to set up. And really, you know, if you're firing up a new Subway franchise someplace, well, all you got to do is sort of assign them an extension, and as long as they have an internet connection, which they almost always do, they plug a phone in there or get the mobile app, and they have a phone number. That's it. That's all there is to it. There's not much to it. And so for franchises, RingCentral makes a whole bunch of sense because they don't have to have any crazy on-premise hardware. They don't have to do any weird networking stuff. They just, franchise puts up an internet connection, plugs in the phone, it works. That's all there is to it. Meanwhile, you know, enterprise customers appreciate a lot of the same stuff, a lot of the same ease of use, but we continue to have these enterprise features, not just the integrations to applications like Oracle Sales Cloud, but also capabilities like single sign-on, integration to Active Directory, a carrier-grade network, because we are, in fact, a carrier as well, and very, very good uptime. So these are the kinds of things that the enterprises are looking for that RingCentral is able to provide. And so we're seeing dramatic growth in our enterprise segment now, in addition to a lot of the small businesses that we've had in the past. And so in all, we now have 350,000 customers. So that is 350,000 businesses and rising that use RingCentral as their communication system. Now let's talk a little bit about specifically the integrations, because that's really what we're here to talk about is how exactly do you integrate your unified communication system to applications like Oracle Sales Cloud? Well, in a moment, I'll get into the specific integration with Oracle Sales Cloud, but suffice it to say, there's different types of integrations, and different types of integrations do different types of things. I mentioned earlier that our integrations to Outlook and Office 365 and to Gmail basically sort of put your entire communication alongside your email. And so from there, you can make or receive a phone call. You can make or receive an SMS. You can create a RingCentral meeting and put that in your calendar and invite people that way. You can send and receive faxes. You can listen to your voicemails in there. So in the productivity applications like that, we enable all of these functions to live alongside of your productivity applications. Now, when it comes to Oracle Sales Cloud, there's sort of a subset there because the people that are living in Oracle Sales Cloud have some very specific things that they need to be doing. And so our goal with Oracle Sales Cloud and with integrations like that is to ensure that they can do those things as fast as possible. So let's take a look at what we're doing with Oracle Sales Cloud. When it comes down to it, if you consider the type of person who lives in Oracle Sales Cloud, this type of person is going to be either a salesperson or an inside sales or a telesales, something generally with sales in their title, because they are using, indeed, Oracle Sales Cloud. And one of the key things they're going to want is screen pops. And a screen pop is when a call comes in, we will pop directly to the contact that's associated with that phone number. So the RingCentral Cloud system knows the phone number of the caller. In Oracle Sales Cloud, you have much richer information about the caller, provided you've seen them in the past. So you'll have that rich information about the caller, about your activities with them in the past, emails that you might have sent them, campaigns that they might have been a part of, and all that wonderful stuff that you'll have in a proper CRM system. And so when a call comes in on your RingCentral phone, and it doesn't matter what you pick it up with. I mean, you can pick up that call with your mobile app, you can pick it up with your desk phone, you can pick it up with your soft phone, or in a WebRTC application. It doesn't matter. It'll still generate that screen pop. No matter what you pick it up with, you'll still get that screen pop that identifies the caller or identifies whether this is somebody that you haven't seen before. If that happens, you have some other options, potentially popping a blank contact or a blank lead, or something that, in a telesales environment, they might need to fill this in real quick so that they can move on with the call. But again, the goal here is to make the job of the person who's living in Oracle Sales Cloud as quick and as easy as possible so they can get to the meat of what they need to do, which is selling. And so, again, to that end, we also provide click-to-dial capabilities. So when you have the RingCentral integration into Oracle Sales Cloud. Now, for those of you who are using Oracle Sales Cloud, you may notice that when you mouse over a contact, a little mini window pops up with sort of some details about that contact. And when you have the RingCentral integration in there, you'll notice that the phone number becomes a link. And when it does, and you click that link, well, you're going to be dialing out that person using your RingCentral phone. And once again, doesn't matter which device you want to use. If you want to use, if you want to talk into your computer, great. If you want to talk into your desk phone, fantastic. We don't care. We support them all. So you can just click that and dial it. So, it sounds subtle. It sounds simple. It sounds like it would save you 10 or 15 seconds. But if you're an inside salesperson, you're dialing for dollars, and you're on there all day long, those 15 seconds, they start to add up. And it can be a significant time saver, and that's something that customers demand of us very often. That's one of the top reasons why people choose to integrate RingCentral with systems like Oracle Sales Cloud is just that click-to-dial capability. That's very important to them. Now, another thing that people want to be able to do is a quick call disposition, and this is something that Oracle Sales Cloud in particular supports quite well. There is this notion that's built into Oracle Sales Cloud of wrap-up that you'll find, and you can kind of see that at the bottom left of the screen here, when it pops up at the end of a call. Once the call has ended, it'll pop up this little wrap-up window. It'll allow you to take notes. So, of course, you can take notes during the call. You can edit objects during the call. But there is this notion of a wrap-up where, the agent can go in here and say, okay, this is the outcome of this call. This is the description. And that'll get saved against the contact or the lead record that the call was about, so that any future interactions can take that into account. So that's really the third key piece of any telephony CRM integration is call dispositioning. You want your folks to be able to reflect what that call is about. Now, incidentally, the RingCentral system is also capable of automatically recording all calls. So as part of this, and we can put a link into Oracle Sales Cloud as well to the recording, and so you can actually not just disposition the call, but you can even have a link to the recording from there, or you could just have the recordings in RingCentral and listen to them for quality management purposes or anything like that. And so we can record the calls, and for some of our customers, particularly those like law firms where they need to be able to save these recordings, that's a huge feature, or financial firms also are of that ilk. And finally, call reporting, because what good is call dispositioning if you can't report it? And so the built-in analytics into Oracle Sales Cloud really enables this, because what RingCentral is doing with our integration is we are saving standard data into Oracle Sales Cloud that will allow the analytics that are built into the Sales Cloud to be able to report on those things. And so this can give you reports like how much time am I spending on the phone with each type of lead? How much time are each of my people spending on the phone on any given day? How many calls am I making each day? And to whom am I making calls? And are my people calling the people that they're supposed to be calling? There are all kinds of reports that you can get out of this just by attaching this communication data to your CRM data. And it can give you a much more rich picture of what your employees are doing, what your telesales, what your sales folks are doing, and their interactions. And of course, at the same time, there is, when you look at a contact record, or you look at a lead record, you'll see the record of those interactions. And so you'll know that this person called this customer at this time. And that's pretty key. You wouldn't necessarily get that if your sales rep just called the guy with his cell phone. You know, it wouldn't necessarily show up, but if he's using RingCentral and he has this integration to Sales Cloud, then it will be automatically logged in there, and you'll have that notion. So that's pretty important to a lot of our customers, and that's a lot of the reason why they choose to do this type of an integration. Now, it's worth noting, by the way, that the integration with Oracle Sales Cloud is included with all RingCentral subscriptions that are at our premium edition and up. So we have 3 simple editions of RingCentral, and certainly you can find our pricing is publicly posted on ringcentral.com. We don't really hide anything about that. So feel free to take a look at ringcentral.com at the plans and pricing, and you'll find that the premium edition and up include the Oracle Sales Cloud integration just as part of the package. So it's not sold extra or separately in any way. And so we are on the Oracle Cloud Marketplace. And that's where you'll find us as well. If you already have RingCentral and you already have Oracle Sales Cloud, then you can install our application just by going to the Oracle Cloud Marketplace and punching in RingCentral. You will find our app right here, and our documentation is included in here. And so you'll find out how to administer this and a user's guide as well for how your users can use it. It is pretty simple to use. If your users are familiar with Oracle Sales Cloud, it's not going to be outside of their experience. It actually just integrates right into Oracle Sales Cloud. So there's not too much to it. As you kind of saw in the screenshots earlier, it's pretty simple. So take a look at that. And of course, if you folks are already RingCentral customers and you're already Oracle Sales Cloud customers, I would certainly encourage you to try this out. It can make your processes that much simpler. So let me take a moment to talk about, I guess I would say, my other job. You know, I am, as I mentioned earlier, VP of Integration and Contact Center at RingCentral. And on the Contact Center side, we certainly do have integrations with various Oracle products as well, not just Oracle Sales Cloud, but Service Cloud as well. So the Contact Center side is a layer on top of the voice communications that we already provide. And on the Contact Center side, we can provide even richer functionality. One of the most key pieces of functionality that our customers are looking for from our Contact Center, and one thing that we do well here, is real-time reporting. And that is, who's on the phone right now? How many people are on hold right now? You know, what queues are saturated? What queues are not? What's my average handle time? All those kinds of things. So if you're running a call center, you know, let's say 15 or more people, and you need to be able to manage that with greater granularity, with real-time reporting, with integrations to existing systems, with, you know, with Oracle, not just on-premise, but, I mean, not just in the cloud, but on-premise. You know, a lot of times these call centers will integrate to lots and lots of different things, even green screen systems I've seen before, AS400, old school mainframes things. Our Contact Center product can do that. Now, this is a fully cloud Contact Center product, as RingCentral is. So there is nothing to install on your site, but of course, if you do need to integrate to an on-premise system, that can be accomplished with this. So it provides real-time reporting capabilities, but it also provides multi-channel capabilities. So I mentioned earlier that RingCentral Office, which is our sort of base product and which I've been talking to up to this point, includes voice and SMS, includes web meetings and voicemail and fax. On top of that, RingCentral Contact Center besides being able to route the voice, to many people, it also has built-in email and chat capabilities. And this is when I say email in this case, I mean real-time email. So this is the kind of email where when you get this email, you need to attend to it right now. It's not like one of these asynchronous email systems like, you send an email and you can expect the response back in 2 days or something like that. I'm talking about real-time email. And it will kick off the next agent that's free and who's not on a phone call and who's not on a chat right now and say, here's an email for you. Take this. You can also use RingCentral Contact Center to do what's called work item routing. So let's say that in your Oracle Sales Cloud, you receive a new lead. And let's say that you're in a business like, these the mortgage lending folks where the time to respond to the lead is critical. If you don't respond to that lead in the first 30 minutes, that lead is gone. And so you can actually set it up to key on leads submitted into Oracle Sales Cloud and contact those people back. So you can either assign the lead itself to an agent, or you can even make an outbound dialer, which is also included in Contact Center. You can queue that person up in the outbound dialer, and the next available agent will automatically call that lead as soon as possible. So that's the idea here. This is a whole nother level of efficiency when you have large contact center teams, especially when you have large and multi-channel contact center teams. That's RingCentral Contact Center. Now, I mentioned this earlier, we also have Glip, and Glip exists both as a mobile presence and as a web application, and it also can act as a standalone application, but Glip sort of feels like instant messaging, but it's bigger than that. It's not just instant messaging, because within Glip, you can create, of course, I could just message somebody right now. I could just send Jaime a message right now, whether he's in my company or not. I can actually invite him to collaborate with me on Glip, or I can make teams. And again, these teams can be both intra-company and extra-company. So I can have people within my company only, or I can have a team that includes my customers, and we can all communicate with each other in this sort of persistent chat room. On Glip, I can share files, so I can upload files directly, or I can stick links up there to Google Drive, to Box, and to Dropbox, and various other of the storage providers like that. So I can put links in there, and when I do put links like that, the little preview will be embedded right in the chat stream. And that will notify people who are using the mobile application. So mobile application will say, hey, there's a new file on one of the teams that you're subscribing to. So in some ways, it's kind of like a replacement for email in many ways, and it's a little bit more real-time of a medium than email. And of course, there are also integrations within Glip. And so there's integrations to Salesforce.com and to Oracle Sales Cloud, for example, where you can have new leads and things like that. When they come in, they can actually put a post in Glip and say, hey, we got a new lead. Or when you sell a deal, you can say, hey, we sold a deal, and all those kinds of things. So Glip is a very complete collaboration platform that is included for all RingCentral subscribers. So as I said earlier, all RingCentral subscribers, they get the web meetings, they get the collaboration, they get the SMS, fax, and all that stuff. There's lots of stuff that comes in this package that is not terribly high priced. So it's a pretty compelling deal. And finally, I've been talking about all these integrations that we've been building. I've been talking about Oracle Sales Cloud, of course, but also Office 365 and Gmail and all of these others. And these are all built on our public APIs. So when we build an integration, we are not using any special sauce of any kind. And in fact, the Zoho integration and the, I'm trying to think of other folks that have built these custom integrations. There's a lot of them, so you'll find in our app gallery, they're all using the same APIs that my team are using, and those APIs are called the RingCentral Connect platform. And these are public APIs that any RingCentral subscriber can use. They are, as you might expect, modern APIs, RESTful APIs using OAuth 2 for authentication, or single sign-on if you're using single sign-on. It allows you to build custom integrations to your telephony system. And we've seen all kinds of really interesting stuff. One of our biggest customers is a tax filing company, which most of you have probably used before. And one of the things that they do with our platform, well, they actually use our fax APIs. You wouldn't believe it, but fax is still a thing, especially in government. And so in their case, when they file your taxes, they will also automatically identify whether you might be eligible for certain government programs. For example, SNAP here in the U.S. SNAP is the food stamps program that we have here. And the SNAP program, they don't really have an electronic filing method. They take fax applications. And so this tax provider will create a document, a SNAP application, and fax it using our API over to SNAP. And they send millions of these every year at tax time. So people have all kinds of innovative uses of our platform. Another one of our users is one of the ride-sharing applications. It uses our platform to send SMSs both to drivers and to their customers, to the riders, to say, hey, your driver's arriving, your customer's coming. So, you know, people use our APIs in all kinds of different ways, from making full-scale integrations like the one that you've seen today with Oracle Sales Cloud, to making sort of point integrations with voice, SMS, or fax, or voicemail, or you name it. So there's all kinds of different ways in which you can use the rich APIs that are included in the Connect platform. And these two are all available to you as a customer of RingCentral. And so that's the end of my spiel. And so I'm going to take a look for a moment at the question panel and see whether we have any questions. And for those of you who might have any questions who are live on the call right now, feel free to go to the questions panel and enter those in, and I would be happy to answer them. So I'll just give you folks a few moments to enter in any questions that you may have. So one of the questions that I've seen here on the panel is, what's the story with pricing? Are the minutes all inclusive? And yes, RingCentral plans do include all the minutes, inbound and outbound. The only one thing where we will sometimes charge you is for toll-free minutes. So if you decide to put up a toll-free number on RingCentral, which many of our customers do, we do charge per minute for toll-free because there's an underlying cost for that. But it is very reasonable compared to the industry average. So one of the reasons, indeed, why we chose RingCentral at my last company was just that. It actually saved us about half over what we were paying before. Well, partly because we had been making a whole bunch of long-distance calls to, to France. As I said, my development staff is in France. But now, as we gave the folks in France RingCentral phones, we could just call each other for free. It was just extension to extension dialing, and it works just fine in France, internet connection. So, when you have a multi-site business, RingCentral can really represent a significant cost savings as it did for my company. Okay, another question that I'm getting here. How long does it take to install the Oracle Sales Cloud integration? It's pretty simple. It's covered in our admin guide on the marketplace. It's actually pretty quick. It's, I think, a 4 or 5 step process. So it's not that much. You basically sort of set it up, connect your Oracle Sales Cloud to the URL that we give you, and it will sort of download what it needs to do. You assign that to a set of users and say these users are the ones who can see this integration. And when your user next logs on, he'll be presented with the opportunity he'll see a new little widget at the top of Oracle Sales Cloud there that will allow him to connect to RingCentral, and it'll ask him for his RingCentral login details. And once he's submitted that, then it'll say connected, and you are now connected. Your Oracle Sales Cloud will be connected to RingCentral. So from that point forward, the user will use Oracle Sales Cloud just as he always does, but now he's connected, and if a call comes in or something like that, then he'll get a screen pop, or he can now use that click to dial functionality that I alluded to earlier. All right, any other questions? Please feel free to put them into the questions panel. I'll just give it one more minute here. All right, well, it doesn't seem like we have any more questions, so I would like to thank you all for your attendance today. And Jaime, thank you very much for the warm introduction. And again,
thank you for having
RingCentral.
Oracle as on the presentation. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, and look for us on the Oracle Cloud Marketplace. Goodbye, and have a nice day.